Sup, Ryu here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council with a Friday video. Let's talk. You guys made this video series happen. It's been on break for a couple weeks. I'm not going to deny that because honestly, life gets in the way and I feel good. But we're going to talk about why that happened in a moment, just real quick. But we got to talk about Destiny Soldiers today. We got to talk about OTS. We may have a few other things that may have to be pushed to Monday's videos. Now, few things, real quick, right off the bat. The Destiny Soldiers booster box opening, you know it's going to happen, will happen on Thursday. Yes, Thursday. Which means stock market's going to happen on Wednesday. Now, if you are like kind of lost and you don't see stock market, you can always hit the channel. I'm pretty much always setting it now to be the main video you see. Main reason there has not been a Let's Talk in a couple weeks. Injuries, man. I injured my leg pretty fucking bad because obviously some of you know I busted up my ankle and I made it, well, the leg worse. Let's put it that way. My right leg is not the greatest leg in the world. With that said, let's get into it. So, honestly, I've been burned out by Yu-Gi-Oh! For a little while when it came to doing deck profiles and whatnot, but I'm slowly getting back into it. You know, obviously videos are going to start picking up because it's the Pokemon season, and it's hard to be into Yu-Gi-Oh! In the Pokemon season. And that's not to call Yu-Gi-Oh! Bad. I don't want to sound so fucking negative, but next week, man, Sun and Moon. But that's for the Pokemon Council, so let's talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Here. So, Destiny Soldiers. It's pretty much a set that most people are going to pass up and not even take a look at, which is understandable. But you got some great cards here. You got some Darklords. You got some Destiny Heroes. Destiny Heroes become a full-fledged archetype. And then you have the Darklords, which become a full-fledged archetype. You see what Konami did there? They took those 3-4 card archetypes and made them into a whole thing. I, for one, am so happy that Darklords are actually a thing now, that outside of just fairy support. They are a fucking thing now. Granted, they probably won't be meta. Because, as much as I want them to be meta, at best, they're going to be rogue stat. What you have when you look at Destiny Heroes, when you look at Darklords, is simple. You have a deck that has a lot of power. You have a deck that can end on Vanity's Fiend or Archlord Christie. I was about to say Vanity's Emptiness there. They utilize their spells and traps from the grave, which gives them an interesting, way to play the game. And, of course, a Lord of Darkness abuse. Now, the entire spoiler for that set is not quite out yet, so I cannot comment about it. I may make a video Wednesday, pretty much, not hyping it, but discussing everything that's in the set. By that point, we should know. Usually by then, we get spoilers for everything. There are very few spoilers, and it may just be because we just came off Invasion Vengeance 2 weeks ago, and, well, just almost 2 weeks ago. Not 2 weeks ago. It was like another week. Well, just last week it came out. To the point, everyone's still hyped on that dimensional barrier and the tree toad. Totally awesome, shit going on. And you should be. And the Paleozoic as well. You should be. There's no reason you shouldn't. I also said in this video we're going to talk about the OTS, so I'm probably going to jump on that real quick, and then we'll jump back on. So let's talk official tournament store pack number 3. We have a complete spoiler. And apparently it's supposed to come out on the 17th. Which is Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So, here we go. If I am missing anything, let me know down in the comment section so people will know. But this is the list I was able to get from, obviously, everyone, where everyone gets it, So, we have Ultimate Rare Swap Frog. This has been, Hollow Swap Frog has been the thing people have been asking for a while, so that's nice to see. Speedroid Terratop Ultimate, that makes a lot of sense. Super Quantum Mech Beast Grand Pulse. I feel like this is the ultimate that no one really wants. There could have been an MX Saber and Volker there. But granted that this is just like a, here, have a free fucking prize pack thing, play at your locals. It's cool. Super Rares, Dupe Frog, Ignite Reload, Oasis of the Dragon Souls, Metaphors Gold Driver, Alloy of Justice Cycle Reader. I think that would have been better common, honestly. Sky Iris, Domain of the True Monarchs, a little bit late on that. Paladin of the Fellground, Chaos Trap Hole, also would have been better as a common. And Magical Reflector. For the commons, and I'm going to have to actually explain one or two of these things. Beast of the Pharaoh, Black Dragon Chick, that's formerly known as Red Eyes Black Chick, but the reason they changed it to Black Dragon Chick is because they don't want you confusing it as a support card for Red Eyes, so that way it doesn't interfere with all the Red Eye stuff, so they can save that line of text for whatever reason. It saves them like a penny per card or something. Darkstorm Dragon, Heat Rants, that's the card that searches out Valhalla. Valhalla should have been in here, but it's not. DD Crow, Unizombie, Knight and Sorcerer, extremely good reprint. Even if you're not competitive, like talking competitively, it's mainly just to, dive down that price. It's so fucking good. Fusionist, that is also something that needed more circulation. Good to see. A little bit late, but good to see. Then there's Cypher Soldier. You may remember him as Kinetic Soldier. So, he works with Cypher support of all things. Doom Shaman, Enchanting Mermaid, Slime Toad, which is, Frog the Jam, which came into McDonald's as a promo. You had to eat all that greasy chicken nuggets to get that shit. Yeah, that was a thing. But now his new name is Slime Toad, so they can save, again, the text. And then, of course, Rare Fish, which, God knows why. Honestly, quick feelings on it. I feel like some of the supers should have been commons, some of the commons should have been supers. Like, okay, for example, Unizombie would have been one hell of a super rare, and Chaos Trap Hole could have used another common print, but it's fine where it is. If we had to make a swap, I would say Paladin of Felgrand, because honestly, that card really, I don't see any Felgrand players really using it. Or Domain of the True Monarchs, again, I really don't see anyone competitively trying to play Monarchs anymore, with all due respect. And closing my statements on this set, because there'll be a photo of it. Fusionist is one of those like old, super kind of old things where if you play the game long enough, you're nostalgic about it, and you remember the time where a guy walked into a show and jump, because that's where YCS used to be, or I forgot what event it was, but the dude had like 1,000 cards. I gotta find that fucking image. He had like 1,000 goddamn cards, man. It was nuts. So back to the point. Let's talk more about Destiny Soldiers, because I'm so used to saying Destiny Heroes, it just feels weird to say Destiny Soldiers. There's a few cards in there that are pretty interesting, but I don't think people are gonna even give this set a chance. I think it's going to be like Duelist Pack Yugi. Or was it Duelist? No, Duelist Pack Rivals of the Pharaoh. God, I can't even remember it. I opened the box. Terrible. I think the problem is so many people are focused on Invasion Vengeance, in the cards that matter from that set. Not so necessarily buying a box of that set, because most people are just like, oh, I'll buy singles. I'm not going to take my chance with the lottery of it, But again, I'm not trying to sound super negative about it. I'm just trying to give my, straight up opinion. Which people don't seem to like all the time. Destiny Soldiers, though, it's interesting. It's not necessarily bad, but you're not going to get anything competitively coming out of it. And that's the biggest issue that most people are going to have with the set, and why it's going to turn them away from it. But honestly, I think Konami going back and giving Darklords support in that manner was just fantastic. And I do think at some point that deck does have potential to at least be regional level. And that's decent enough. That's a lot better than a lot of other decks that get out there right now. And I think people are just so quick to forget that. I mean, is it going to be a major threat? I don't really think so. But hey, it's cool, right? It's cool. It is what it is. Of course, I always want to hear from you guys, and I just want to pretty much start closing this video off with this. We got Fusion Enforcer spoilers. I did not talk about them. They came out on the 10th, which I think we're on the 11th right now, or the 12th. I don't know. My days are all screwed up. I think this came out a day or two ago. It doesn't really matter. But we have a Fluffable Penguin, which drives me insane. Like, okay, so this thing is level 4, which means Bahamut Shark in Fluffles is doable. I'm not saying you would, but if the extra deck was 20 cards, then you could play Instant Fusion and get this little guy back, and getting this little guy back would mean Bahamut Shark, and that's just scary to think about. Thank God the extra deck is so crammed. But he's got 1600 attack, 1100 defense. He can only use the second effect of the penguin once per turn. And first effect reads once while face up on the field. During your main phase, you can special summon one fluffable monster from your hand. And if this card is sent from the graveyard as fusion material for the fusion summon of a Fright for fusion monster, you could draw 2 and discard 1, and that is fucking scary, considering that the wings, the way that whole thing works, that's just fun for them. And of course, LDN Beast also got a new fusion, which is Fire. It's level 7 with 2300 attack. And this pretty much rounds them off to have all the elements. I can't really speak about it too much outside of its effect because I don't really know what to make of the deck. Because again, I have not really been playing too much Yu-Gi-Oh! Outside of working on just my actual physical decks, which I have not done in a couple months. And again, you could play in Pokemon Sun and Moon because I'm just hyped about it. I'm sorry, I just really am. But this card gains 200 attack for each card your opponent controls. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, but if this card attacks a defense position, it inflicts battle damage is 2300. I don't really see a deck that's out there right now that I can think off the top of my head that's fire attribute that you can utilize the opponent's graveyard by. Hey, more power to the players. I do not want to use that GameStop reference. Then it also got Scripture of Law, which I believe this. Yes, it is. You can only activate one of these per turn. You tribute one Alien Beast monster, special one Alien Beast monster with a different attribute from your extra deck. Also pretty cool. And then reprints that actually do really matter, I guess. Well, there's Edge Imp Chain, Instant Fusion, Toy Vendor, Summoner Monk, Summoner of Illusions, and Phoenix Wind Wind Blast from that, which I thought was pretty cool. Also, Konami and TCG had a press release to some degree for Raging Tempest, and that pretty much confirms that we won't have to say the thing with the J, and we're just gonna say Zodiacs because there's two of us. I hope that's a typo, but I'll just refer to them as Zodiacs just so we can all be pretty happy from that. I guess in closing, because I haven't done one of these in a while, I just want to say, man, it feels good to be doing this. I'm probably going to still go back on to what I was saying, but I don't think Darklords are going to have a complete impact. The new Zodiacs, being actually called Zodiacs in the TCG, is probably one of the smartest things Konami has done. Thank you for making that so easy for me. And finally, I don't want anyone to think that I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. Because I seriously fucking do. I'm still pumping out videos that are quality based. You know, I try to put some quality in there. Sprinkle it in. But it's one of those like every 3 years thing. We're getting a new generation of Pokemon. I know not all of you are into it, but it's a really exciting time. And on top of that, of course, on the gaming channel, I had the whole holy shit. We had Sombra reveal, so I had fun with that. So my mind's been all over the place. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like kind of just one of the last things I do enjoy, but it's kind of on the burner right now. So, terribly sorry. Deck profiles should be, hopefully I'll be working on this week. If not, then they'll still be coming up pretty slow. But I've always said the channel is not a one-note kind of channel where we only do one thing. We like to branch out. So you'll see some discussions, sometimes see more booster openings. Like this week is a prime example. Thank you to Mikey for that. That actually gave me a nice, needed rest. So, much appreciated to that. And I know some people actually do like Mikey on the channel once my freaking busted up leg is going to be 100%. And he's got time and I got time. We'll probably do some dual videos because those are always fun. Or just have them on the channel. You guys decide because why the hell not? It's partly mine and partly yours. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy the content and you're brand new, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more. Drop a like and a comment because it helps with the algorithm on YouTube. That is the truth, and that is the reason. I'll be honest, I hate saying it, but it does help out. So, much appreciated. See you guys later. Thanks for taking time out of your day. Have a good night, and till next time.